is the next one?
Next door, here at 5. So I was like, I should have taken a picture of that. That happened the first time, but I thought maybe that was because we were in training mode. You know, that last one, that's why we have to go back and reveal it. The results and stuff had like double words on it.
Oh.
And I thought maybe that was the training mode, and then it happened again, and I was like, maybe it's not supposed to be there? I don't know. So she had to go back and fix it. That's why we have to reveal it.
Got it.
I'm sorry. I know, and you know what? I sent all those things for her to fix, and I questioned myself. Now, this is probably just training mode. It's probably going to go away. You know, maybe I should
Yeah, you should say something. It's always a conflict.
I was like, but after today, it should be good. I'm not anticipating anything else wrong. It looks. They both look great, Dahlia.
So capnography, you did capnography?
I've done both of them.
Oh.
I think capnography is good. I think it's just procedural sedation. Not only that, they look great. The content is definitely, like, I feel like we hit all the points, and it's not too much.
Yeah, it's not as much as I thought it was.
No, not at all.
And it went by really fast.
It went by very fast, but you know, at the same time, I tell you, I like how they, like, you put all the opioids together and they could, you could see that. I like that. That turned out great. So, I was so much better. So much better.
This content is good.
Yeah. It's good for a while. And the policy just got updated, so, you know, it should be good for a while. But I was like, professional, but I mean, even the t-shirts. What we have, if you go look at my fire, when you do the fire one, this is much better. And maybe do you need something?
I'm just thinking. I'm for the day.
Oh, okay. So, you know what I got today? And this is my first KP Learn module that I created, and where I was telling Emily working with you was so helpful to, you know, go through those motions and be like, don't do this, do that, you know, we want to focus on it. That was so helpful.
So, do you know how?
Do you want me
Do
to
you know
help
how that computer connects to that monitor?
you? This one here?
Not this one, but
Over there.
over there. The
They
video.
don't have that either system here. So I might have to recruit some help, but I'll go along.
Yeah, you.
Hi!
So
Good morning! How are you?
I'm good, how are you? What's going on? Do you know how to turn the next door TV on?
it's already on.
I think it's on.
I don't know how to connect it to.
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, I already signed it.
Okay, so you got it?
Yeah.
morning. How are you? Oh, okay. Nice to meet you. Dottie wanted to see you.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, how are you doing? Oh, hi. Oh, how are you doing? Good, good. Good. You need a
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh my God. Kid?
Was it in the movie? Where you get this? Okay.
From here, from the front.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
You're here.
It's like, wait a minute, hold on. That's a very small adult. I don't like it.
So I can't get the audio. Good morning.
Morning.
I don't know if there's a TV remote. I can't find any of the buttons on the TV. Can't get to a menu selection or anything like that. Or it's plugged in, like to the computer.
Oh, thank you so much.
I couldn't, yeah. Yeah, so I'm thinking that there's a remote for the TV. Maybe we could get the volume, but I can't seem to find it.
Let me tell you, 16 gigs though. Like a range. Like if you it's like.
Yeah. But not
Some.
Not even on the TV? You know? Oh my God, man, it's so hot now. Oh. Did your kids start school? Are they going in person? Tuesday. You're going in person, right? Yeah, I saw some of their neighbors at Good O'Connell, so they started last week. Yeah. They're all going in person, let's see, yes. I mean, assuming Sylvie has the same number.
Yeah, sure, right here.
We'll just write.
So if there's something, I don't know, what else to try. We can just watch, I guess.
I got the order.
So can you fix the audio next door?
Oh, this.
I can't.
I thought it is going to bring the speaker.
What speaker?
Remember, I said the audio won't work.
Oh.
Okay, well, there you go.
Ah.
So without the speaker, it doesn't work?
No, I told you yesterday the speaker won't work. So, oh, the speaker on the TV?
So I'm Yasmin, by the way, I'm the educator at Gaithersburg, Capitol, and Falls Church. I'm like, I have to remember them
You
all.
have your
I do.
Your speaker?
Yeah, but where is that gonna work?
She's
Same.
happy.
I do, of course. I have to go to my office and get it. Or this person, Laura's office, not my office, Laura's office.
It took me the long way.
Oh, that's
Plus,
why.
wait a few hours.
I'm like, you gotta
Yeah,
go.
really need to think about that.
Did you take some time out? I didn't remember saying.
Yeah, I said, I'm not too, but I'm not. Yes, I'm not.
Even better. Are we here next week?
Hello. How are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Want me to just plug it into the computer? We're not working like that? Okay. Let's try it then, I guess. They do have speakers in the room now that I think I saw somebody the other.
So just to give you an idea, this case is going to be a difficult airway, so we just want to see people know where things are and go through the process. Then after that, we're going to take this recording first. I know with cases that you go through video and stuff, but we're going to do that so we can see how they use the defibrillator. So don't panic that, oh, this is not, you know, real. So, yeah, we're going to keep that, and then we just want to see if they know how to defibrillate, if they know how to, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, but the main objective is really to go through the difficult airway and then check the defibrillator. Alright? And this gives you pretty much everything as far as, you know, vital sign. If you need temperature works as well. So, and then the mannequin has a carotid pulse, so you guys can feel the pulse, just rise and fall. You can listen to lung sound, and you can mimic the guy. Alright? And when it comes to defibrillation, this is the cable there that we use to connect to the. Yeah, these are the maps. Alright? Yeah, but just to give you an idea, that's where it's going. Okay? Alright. No problem. Hey there.
What's our story? We seen my way in. But it was only down because I heard for process along with us yesterday. Oh shit. Yeah. You have diarrhea? Yeah, and some I had to work. And I was
Hey, Logan. You looking for something?
I'm just looking through the cards and I feel like if I hear them, this is back to the back. But I was on my But I think this was I remember taking me to work. And I know they're gonna have it. So that's why I got it. So I'm sorry.
Then people will come once a while, you know, I know some also. Yeah, that's enough. Hey, that's it. Good morning.
Now we can hear.
You are a pediatrician anesthesiologist?
No.
Yeah, we have 3 of them.
Good morning. Hey. Did everybody sign in? Okay, let's all sign in quick. I know it's 7:08, we want to get started. My name's Jasmine, I'm actually the educator for Falls Church, Gaithersburg, and Cat Hill. So I like to start out my staff meeting, the in-services with the safety message as well as a Thrive message. So does anybody have a safety message they want to share? How about, go ahead.
I was gonna say the Blackstones.
What's up?
So the Blackstones, we keep having the same problem, and we only have 2 women in each hallway, but the anesthesiologists are keeping it all the time. Like yesterday, we had to intubate, and during the case, we went out and found a Blackstone.
Gotcha. So you have only 2 gyroscopes for how many rooms? 6?
6.
Okay. So where's the anesthesia tech?
Well, sometimes there's only 1.
So there's only 1 anesthesia tech. So that's a great safety message, especially since now our patients are a lot bigger and might require that kaleidoscope very quickly, especially if they're having difficulty bagging the patient. So I know you guys can hear me on the other side, so just be very mindful if you have the kaleidoscope in the room. If you're anybody in the room, please mention that let's take the kaleidoscope out and put it where it needs to be. But it does need to get clean. That's why I was like, either call the anesthesia tech or just, put it out there and wipe it down yourself, okay? Great, thank you. That's a great, where's my sign-in sheet? That's a great safety message. Now, for the Thrive message, I just want to remind you guys that it's important as team members that we recognize each other. It's really, really important. Whether you do it during a huddle or during an in-service, recognize somebody for going above and beyond, say thank you, and because it really helps build a team, right? So what's happening right now is there's something called the Rose Award. Have you guys heard of the Rose Award? Okay, well this is great. So we at Kaiser and actually other facilities do this, recognize team members formally. We have the Daisy Award, which is for nurses, and the Rose Award is for actually staff members that are non-nursing or unlicensed personnel. So that means your anesthesia tech, your CAs, your ORAs, those types of people, okay? So we want to recognize people who provide direct or indirect patient care and exemplify outstanding service and excellence in caring for our members and their families. The nomination is open to all KPMAS non-nursing unlicensed personnel who provide direct or indirect patient care. Again, clinical assistants, phlebotomists, receptionists, lab or pharmacy techs, and have demonstrated the following values: outstanding patient and family-centered care, excellent interpersonal skills, compassion, professionalism, and most importantly, leading by example, right? Okay, so if you're interested in recognizing somebody, I'll be here for today. I'll be happy to show you how you can do that, okay? All right, so you guys know Dahlia and Michael? So I'll let them take over now.
My for 5 years.
Common for years, almost over here. So we just want to talk about team dynamics as well before our simulation, as we always do. What are the 4 domains of team steps or team strategies and tools to enhance patient performance and patient safety, right? So what are some of the, communication.
Communication. Nice. You're on the ball today. I love it.
Teamwork is one of them, but it's not one of the. This is one of the 4 domains. So that's really what we want. Overall, we want a team, right? Team orientation. So communication is one of the domains. One of the other ones. Who's always at the head of the bed? Leadership, right? So leading teams is one of them. So what else? The other 2, we do this all the time. We're just putting a name to it. And I'll say, so it's mutual support. We support each other. I got your back, you got my back. And then situational awareness, situational monitoring, right? Because we want to have a shared mental model. So for today, we can focus on communications. That's always important. And what are some of the tools in communication? that we use? What are some of the things we do? Call out, right? We do call out, cross check, and checklist, right? We talk about
Yeah, closed loop right there.
closed loop communication, right? Yeah, closed loop communication we do really well with when it's like medications and things, but also we want to do with equipment. You want somebody said, hey, can you go get the crash cart for me? And then you want to come back and say crash cart is here because that kind of triggers the next person to do something. And we want to call out not only what we need, but like if there's a vital sign changes, right? Or what we're doing, because when you're saying it out loud, you know, that triggers you to, you know, your team to do something else. Or you want to say maybe, you know, if they're focused on the patient, not on the monitor, you calling it out is important, right? And enhancing that speak up culture as well. Just make sure that we all have a shared mental model. So the mutual support is, you know, task assistance. You know, if you're seeing somebody getting tired, like on a chest compression, for example, or they're breaking their PPE or something like that, you want to say something, right? So that's feedback and support for your team members. And so situational awareness is if you see the vital sign going down, if you see something, you know, about to fall or something like that, you want to call it out, because that's your shared, and then it gets you to that shared mental model. Everybody's on the same page. Okay, so that's the kind of things we want to see. We want to see you use your RS bar, right? What's the RS bar? What's your S bar? Yeah, so you want to have your request, right? Because if you have or your recommendation or what you want your team to come in, let's say you're calling in an additional anesthesiologist or your PACU team coming in, right? You want to tell them a quick report, and the way we do that in a critical situation is using our RS bar. This is my request. What does S stand for? That situation is this. And then B, background, just related to what's happening right now, you know, the whole thing, right? And then what's A? Assessment. It's my assessment, just scratching, just simple as that, right? And then your R, and then recommendation or request again. So you're just kind of closing the loop in your communication as well. So practice those, you know, don't pretend that you guys have done this before. Let's just make it as real as possible, do what you do. And stay within that role as well. Okay? All right. Any questions? You guys okay with the mannequin, or and you guys have used it before? Have you used the mannequin before?
It has a carotid
He has
pulse.
a carotid, right?
And
So if
yeah,
you have
chest
a
rise
question,
and fall.
I encourage you to come and feel him. And we'll talk for him if he needs to, and then I think that there should be a role for the parent as well. That's your monitor right there. It gives you kind of a A-line type of vital signs. And you'll have your case. All right? You guys ready?
Yeah, so if you have to connect to the defibrillator, this is your bag.
So
Okay,
connect to
you
the
already put
Philips.
it on the mannequin, all you have to do is connect it with your defibrillator and it should work.
Okay, so I'll read the scenario, then I'm gonna jump next door, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So just so we have support over there.
So this is a 5-year-old, okay? His name is John Stevens, 2 first names, right? Okay, he is a 5-year-old who weighs 20 kilos. He's healthy, no medical problems, and no previous surgeries. Okay, he is here for a tonsillectomy. Okay, under general anesthesia, and I want you guys to start with the briefing. Okay? Any questions? You guys, I'm gonna run next door. Can you write? So in case I miss something.
All right,
Alright,
so
who's participating?
I am she is your surgeon.
Ollie.
Oh, you're the surgeon. Look at that.
She said I'm giving the last part of it.
Okay. All right, we'll come over to the timeout.
So start with your timeout. Oh, we got surgeons.
Look at the board. Oh, you got it. Okay, today we are going to be doing a tonsillectomy on John Stevens. Medical record number 123456. And birthday is January 1st. 2015. Yeah, that's right. 2015. There is no surgical site marking, and I expect this to take about an hour. No implants or equipment needed. Imaging everyone needs for the case. No risk of DVT, so no CV boots, and anticipated blood loss is about 10 cc's.
Sarah circulating, we have no sterility issues, and this is high fire risk, so we need to make sure the fire tape is out. So no sterility issues there. All right.
Okay, thank you. Oh, no antibiotic.
No antibiotics, no allergies. Doing general anesthesia, and brachial tubes, there and anesthesia routine check. Yes.
Okay.
Pre-oxygenating treatment. Taking our induction medications.
He has an IV, or he does not have an IV? No.
What is the
Protocol
the
is,
briefing? Is it, we have that?
they usually don't have one.
Oh, they have. Okay, we're doing inhalation on that.
Yeah.
Alright, so IV in there. And I will put some relaxation as well. Make some more deep. Okay, so IV method in. I'm gonna reach for my blade. I got my ET tube here. Reds. Okay, so nothing patient is starting to reset. You have 100% inflated tube, technical back glass. Take a look here. Copper help.
Okay. Do you want the Glasgow?
Yes.
You come and then I will go get it, okay? I'm in a different location.
Okay, we'll get it, Robbie. We'll get it, Robbie. I said I'm gonna push the button. Yes.
You want to push it already? Wait a minute, I'm confused, we would never push it already. Is that what you want? Is that what we're doing?
Question?
That's not the way this is supposed to go. We're going to be the way we were told. Deliberations to go through. And I just tried to, when I was working with the accusation, we don't need to prove up this or you got through anesthesiologists. All right, Sarah. Yeah, we're super. All right. Okay, great.
All right. Okay, so turn it along. What's happening? What's going on?
There's a picture. created here, and it's not getting any title, not getting any institution, so we'll take, let's try to try.
Okay, you want, let's just match that list, so we're just do that.
Robbie, where's the lights go?
Alright, so let's match that list.
Robbie, where's the lights go?
So I want to get the key code part, please.
Yes.
I'm gonna go speak with the family to see
Alright,
what's going on.
you
feel like, are we ventilating?
Okay.
Yeah. And let's get an elevator as well. Right. Okay, alright, perfect. Let's open here. Alright, so we're gonna set up.
No title.
Okay, so we have an initial listing.
Yeah, we do.
And if that's have been down. Thank you.
Pediatric code part.
Through the court,
Okay, so our tube is in.
and our circuit.
We start ventilating. Take a listen for breath sounds.
We do not have any title.
And here for my level breath sounds. We're gonna begin. It sounds good. And can we just check this pulse ox, please, right now?
Okay, I'm gonna say it's on his toe.
The fact that if we see an endotracheal tube in place with kind of these weird breath sounds, I would move the pulse ox to see if that might be the issue that's going on right now. But we definitely have a definitive airway. So. And at this point, the pulse ox patient will be 100% on the ventilator.
Confirm the
We
plate.
confirm the tube is 100% in. So at this point, if our stats not coming up, I would get a stat chest x-ray on this patient, and we're gonna leave him intubated, and then we will call 911 and have him go out to the nearest hospital. His stats are not improving.
So, quick question, we would just abort and go back to masking and wake him
We
up?
would, so we're waiting to see, okay, his stats are now finally coming up, they were lagging for quite a while. Once our endotracheal tube was in, but now our stats are coming up, so we'll wait for a bit. And then we'll kind of discuss, do y'all think he was maybe like a ring spasm or?
We have a tube in place, you think?
It just wasn't, okay, so it wasn't.
Do we be bronchospasm?
We can ask how could be as well.
Moved it, finger, and it is fine.
Do you have a pulse? So now, yeah, let's check for a pulse. And we will pull card in the room.
Yes.
It's
right here.
No pulse?
We have so we get medications, do we have a recorder?
Yes, here, record.
Okay.
Code card is here.
Alright, and just make sure that we notify everyone above that there's a code going on.
Should we connect the,
So I'm calling.
We're just gonna connect the.
you connect?
And at this point, we would also call 911.
Okay. I'm calling now.
We would get this turned on.
Continuing to back the patient, 100% clear too.
Yes.
We're doing chest compression. You're doing very good.
Yeah,
Chest
so we have
compression.
IV in place.
Good depth, good speed.
Okay. We have our.
Do we have someone else?
It's attached. Okay.
This one
We're
take
attached?
over.
Okay.
Chest compressions. We switch out.
Alright, so, yep. So let's say if we did a round of chest compressions, do I want to check a rhythm, see if this is shockable?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the best thing.
And I'm starting another IV.
All right, we'll check the rhythm. So it looks like V-fib. So this is a shockable rhythm.
It's a
The charge.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I'm
So
like, this is not.
this is a shockable rhythm. So we'll
Alright, everybody stand.
clear. Everyone clear?
How much do you want? How many joules do you want? So energy split.
So for this, it will be 2 joules per kilo. How much?
It's
do you
20
want?
kilos, so 40
So 40,
kilos.
yeah, 40 joules.
You can shop these medicines, okay?
Alright.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Alright, everybody stand.
Everyone clear?
Clear.
Okay,
Alright,
three shots.
deliver, shock deliver.
Continuing
Alright,
chest
so
compression.
compressions out.
We can switch out. We get tired. We can switch out.
Okay.
All right, we're continuing
Okay.
back
Second IV
ventilation.
is in.
Yeah, we'll do a round of epinephrine, please. We'll do 10 mics per kilo. Yes,
We
we
have
want to
some
give
like
happy.
administering medications.
Okay.
I'll do it.
All right, we got someone in epinephrine.
Yeah.
And then we'll keep track of the time. Give another dose. We'll give another dose every 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, I've been out 31.
And then we'll do another chest compression for 2 minutes. And then we take another rhythm.
We're gonna switch out and maybe the analyzer. Okay.
All right,
2
so
minutes
into
is
rhythm.
up.
2 minutes is up.
Okay.
We'll pause. Do a pulse check.
No pause, rhythm.
Rhythm continues to be shockable rhythm. So everyone clear? Clear, shock, shock delivered. Continue compression, please. And then it's been, we'll say it's been 5 minutes. We'll give another round of epi.
Okay. Is the epi relief? How much is epi?
Wait, I think I got just, wait.
We'll do 10 mics per kilo.
Okay, epi ready? Epi given.
911 is on their way up.
7:32? Yeah, we're pretending like 10 minutes.
We'll say another 2 minutes has gone by. So we're
Okay.
getting a pulse check.
911 is here, what's going
We're
on?
gonna do a pulse check.
Let's check his pulse.
911 is here.
That's a 1
Pulse
second.
check, rhythm check.
Yo, I feel
We
pulse.
have a pulse?
Yep.
Okay. Do we have a blood pressure? Alright.
91, 61, and perfuse. Yep.
Alright.
We are perfusing.
It's a 911 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here from 911. What's going on?
Yeah, we had a towel anesthesia on, running through airway quickly. When we were able to secure airway, we did go into a B-fib arrest. We gave 1 round of epi, we did 2 rounds of epi, we did 2 rounds of compression, 2 shots delivered, and we were able to reach the chief rocks now.
Okay. Take it. Alright, good job, guys. Alright, let's quickly debrief.
Can you not turn it off for a second?
Alright, so we have like 10 to 15 minutes for us to debrief. So let's talk about what went well and then what we can do better. So we'll start with the people at the bedside. So I'll start with the anesthesiologist. So what went well? You can just name one thing.
So I think we analyzed, we brought everyone together really quick, we called for help, that was fast, we brought in the glass room quickly, we brought in the crash start very fast, so.
Okay.
I think we assembled all the troops.
Yes. You had all your help. Alright. For you?
Chest compressions and switching out efficiently.
I mean, I feel for the most part, in general, we recognize changes in the patient's being in the status in a reasonable amount of time, and we were able to act quickly.
Right. I'm not supporting staff or accessories.
Can you speak up?
Okay.
This
Yeah,
one
there's
is-
an They're listening in the other room, so. Alright, for you.
Yeah, I think just what people already observed, that everybody sort of marshaled really quickly and
fell into the roles, the neuroscience.
I think it was a little confusing about who's were supposed to
So
take.
that's opportunity. Let's talk about what went well. Good stuff, good stuff.
I think good staff. Chantel was taking good note.
Okay,
Timing,
yeah,
everything. That was very
so
good.
you had it recorded, right? Alright. ENT surgeon.
The arrest part was definitely for people who were talking about the situation and responding to each other the way they should.
Just calling out, letting them know what's going on.
Well, I should say also, there was good recognition early on of what was happening.
Anyone from the
I was follow that is very helpful. He was giving the medication. She called out how medication is given. That was helpful.
Okay.
Same thing?
Yeah. Would be
Oh yeah, yeah, that one, she was calling 911, so everyone could hear.
You guys had a role assigned, so that's really good. And visible in yellow, so which is really good. Any other feedback?
I think 911 was called early, just when you guys were managing the Airway, that it's like you got to have this managed, but when the situation changed, I thought 911 was called pretty early, even though they took their time to come in, but and we started CPR right away as well. So everything else I think everybody mentioned, even though there was a lot of conversation, I heard a lot of closed loop, and we knew who the leader was, even though we had a couple of anesthesiologists in the room, so we were getting just one order from one person, so that communication was clear.
Alright, so let's go into opportunity. I don't have anything to add. Alright, opportunity.
I got a little confused because when I did the regular without the glasses, when I still visualized it going through the cord, I guess the scenario was confusing because I wasn't sure. I mean, I would get, entitled and all that. So I kind of paused there because I was trying to think, because that would be a whole differential. If I was in the cord and I wasn't getting entitled, then I would think it was more bronco staff and something. So I guess I was just confused with the scenario a little bit. I visualized going through the cord, but I didn't see any entitled, and I wasn't delivering oxygen. So I guess, I don't know what would be the remedy to solve that.
Yeah. So with the mannequin, you're able to visualize. You probably could have said maybe you can't see, so you can't ventilate.
Yeah, maybe even there was a mannequin that didn't have we made a mannequin without vocal cords. Well, you don't pretend.
That's the part we
But if I visualize it going through, and I'm still not getting anything, I'm like, okay. Yeah.
I think initially we called for extra help with the airway part and an extra anesthesiologist there. It's like sort of a little bit of confusion whether we can press the code button or not. Is it from calling code? What teams are we mobilizing? With our patients still had good blood pressure, heart rate. We're just in the stats were low, like in the 90s. So I think maybe being clearer about what we need, who to call, and kind of jump them in a little bit. But it doesn't hurt to have more people or more help in the room.
Yeah, you definitely had more people. It's just sometimes when you have more people, you clearly have to assign them.
Right.
And it takes a minute to do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just to piggyback up on that. So, I mean, I thought sort of the idea was that we were going to go through the algorithm, and given the way things unfolded, that's not really what happened, because the algorithm is like, okay, you make an attempt, and then you
make another
attempt, and it was also confusing, as you say, because we called all the people, and I mean, just having been in the rooms with that, I don't know a single anesthesiologist who would have gone to that point that quickly, so that was sort of confusing, because, I mean, I realize it's a scenario, but, it's not realistic to what we do at all.
So what should have happened?
If it had been at all real, we would have done and if we were following the algorithm, we would have done 2 attempts.
Then you do mask, put an LMA in, and you can obviously change try different techniques. The Largo, I think, was part of the
Right,
correct.
right, and I mean, again,
Then
you
you
can
obviously
change
you
it
can't
around.
still get interfered, then you wake them up. If they're, you know,
But
not
in
there.
reality, we all know that
Yeah.
it's happened more than twice.
Right,
And then sometimes when we're coming in from recovery, it's like, well, it's supposed to be 2, and then you have someone that's going to the 5th time, and it's like, okay, at what point? So my question is,
Yeah.
who should say, who's the person that says, okay, now we gotta put the hubris aside and say, okay, someone else is, because I have seen that happen. It's like, no, I'll get it. And it's like,
Right.
okay,
right.
this time is ticking, and the stats are
Yeah.
dropping. So you gotta step out the way and just let someone else take a look. So that's my question for everyone. Who
So
makes
for
that
me,
determination?
I would say anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody in
Right.
the room
Yeah.
who is doubtful, it doesn't have to be a second anesthesiologist
Right.
or the ENT doc saying step away. Should be anybody, hey, time out. Like you've done this twice, this has been this
Yeah.
minute, anybody in the room should be able to speak up because
Right.
you're all about the patient. Like,
Right.
so we always talk about flattening the hierarchy. Even though your anesthesiologist is the lead of this code, really, you guys are all leaders. You guys are working in a team. So for me, it would be from a patient safety perspective, it's everyone's responsibility to say something,
So
right? And that's how we save the patient.
And I'm bringing it up because I've seen it happen, and then it's kind of like no one says anything. And it's like,
Yeah.
hello.
So,
I don't call everybody in, and then it's like, okay, forgive
Yeah.
you, we'll work on the patient.
yeah, like they had no hubris, they were, really.
No, they were great, but
in
in
reality,
right.
it
Yeah.
was the other
And so
way.
that's where, that's the point where,
That's why I brought it
that's
up.
why we do these simulations,
Anybody
to,
can
not
say
just to see for you guys to practice as well your skills, but also to work as a team, and the team that practice together functions well, right?
Right.
And so that's what we try to come back, keep coming back and bugging you all the time, is to get you to that space where everybody feels comfortable speaking up as
Yeah,
well.
and I agree, when that happens, you all should still notify the out doc.
Oh, we have. Oftentimes, I'll have like someone else in management there, and it's like, hey, it's been a couple times, and then I just left it. You know what I mean? But I've seen it sometimes where I'm like, no one's gonna say anything. Like, no one. Because I'm like, okay, it's like an IV stick. You can't keep let someone else look with different eyes, and then sometimes it's not a personal thing because you're not doing it well.
But I guess definitely, like, if you just kind of go by our ASA guidelines,
Right.
one person really should not attempt more than 3 times.
Right.
By then, they have to pass it on. But
Right.
we need to have a limit. We're not gonna have 10 attempts on a patient.
And I don't know if everyone on the whole team knows that, so that's why I brought it up.
They-
Yeah, I don't know if everyone
they-
feels
they-
empowered to say something.
They know.
The algorithm
And I feel it's
No, I don't mean anesthesia. I mean like everyone in the room. So
there's the backside of the algorithm tells you exactly if you've done plan A and it's not working, you go to plan B, you go to plan C. So this is like a Bible when it happens when you have a difficult airway. A couple things I've heard about in debrief is when anesthesiologists go look and come out, sometimes they just look and come out. That doesn't mean that it's an attempt. So that again, from an observer standpoint, you may say, oh, that's a first attempt. Now it's a second attempt. Let me call for help. Now, to avoid that, you can just ask, hey, are you attempting and you're failing, or are you just looking to see if they have the actual spot? So just make that communication. In that case, if they were looking or if they're actually attempting. So that communication needs to happen. And then once they say, hey, SAT is still at 92, but I'm not getting any airway, then you go to plan B and ask for help and go through the algorithm. So it's really to push using the algorithm that's designed and actually have that conversation.
And as I understand the algorithm, it's not necessarily 2 times per person, it's 2 times
Correct.
per a particular method, because then you could ask for the Glasgow, but then you would not, that would be a 3rd attempt, but it wouldn't be like the 2 attempts, because the 2 attempts seem to be more about not the person, but the method. That's correct.
That's good, but I think you called it out, like, I think we should follow this, and that's what we wanted to see, and then so you showed your anesthesiologist, this is the algorithm, and just kind of follow that. If you follow the standard, I think that would help us, standardize outcomes.
Right, I mean, I would never actually do that in the moment like that.
Yeah.
Alright, come on, you're supposed to follow.
Alright, anything else? I know you guys have
So just to add, every room has a difficult airway algorithm.
Can we put it on the difficult airway card too? Is it on the difficult airway
It's
card?
on the airway card too, on the side.
Okay.
On the ring.
So that does it have the backside? Good.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, I have a question. So for the KGs for the patient, do you ever put it on the whiteboard so everyone knows? The what? So like, you know, sometimes in the code, they'll say, how many KGs is the patient, how many KGs? They were putting it on the board, especially with
armband?
Yeah, we have an armband, but it'd be nice to see we're putting it on the armband or something.
But it's not a bad idea.
So sometimes I do
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. It's on the kangaroo armband, right?
And it's for peds, but for adults.
And you guys use that Kagadan? Okay.
Actually,
So if he met the Broslow, my question was, there was a call out for epi to be given. Maybe using so for your doses, it would be easier if you use your Broslow tape, and then you can see according to that drawer of that color, I should say, then you have all of your doses for all your drugs and everything. You guys know where for the nurses in the room, you guys know where your Broslow tape is?
I think it's up here.
Yeah, it's on the top.
On the top. So one second before you leave for the nurses, you only shot once. This is the only confirmation this machine doesn't talk. So the first time you shot, it didn't go through. I don't know if you guys did charge or anything.
I don't know what happened, I mean, because
Yeah.
pulled out both times.
Yeah, so just charge and then when you hear the flashing, you'll see flashing and then you'll see your joules coming. So when you hit charge, you'll see the joules coming.
Alright, okay.
So that's what you want to see, and the flashing light before you shot. And this is your only confirmation because this machine doesn't talk. The order was for 40, this doesn't have a 40. So just make sure you confirm with your physician what order, because this is still an order. You want to make sure it says, there's no 40, you want 50. So you want to just confirm your.
Oh, I did say that. I did say that, but I probably said it too quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, you put it on 50 and I looked and I was fine with it.
Yeah, I just didn't hear it. So just make sure you confirm. That's what I just want to say. And then your backboard for the patient. Don't forget your backboard.
Yep.
All right.
Alright, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much again. Good job.